See at the Chebia, Yajan Coupon, and Nona. Or in the Doache and Qua Unyani and Adi Chiebiara, Ye Janya Coupon, Ye Odofu Fruadi, Awamado, Unyamido, Odwa Yentuntiasu. Adichie biara, ye janya kupo, ye odofu fruedi, awawado, unyamido, oda yentu bintiasu, uwake ye. Morning soup now we're moving at now the morning check awawado unyamido odo yentu mintiasio wakeye morning soup now I'm moving at now the embonia amawado unyamido odwa yentuntiasio ojana hine Nini monya yemboninti na Yesu beriase bewudiye wasenduanosu odra yentumintiasio ojana hinie Nini monya yemboninti na Yesu beriase bewudiye wasenduanoso oda yentuntiaso Amen. Amen. Ready in Shirashumai or Yesu dim. Amen.
Amen.
Yo. So I can say, and you need to say, yes, I may shall see, and then may shall say, and it's a part yummy, ain't shall papa. My family na Michel Bia, I ready, Adam or Kaya home, and you may me say, and yet accident, and yet a rather nasty share, say you may Yenina Yeshia inti Eradishra or software so far Pianyami Shira Wati. Annie, okay. Inti enumere mepese yebeko nafi yebetim dia ye no kakra bi dia ye ne yebetimu kakra bi na yetumi akai ye dano kwesiada etwemu. Just a little recap of all that we did. And I'm going to be very quick. In fact, Mamisa said, minka twi ana minka brofo me sha ase na minka twi ni brofo fra mutumi kire me de minka ya anka beboa me
Ediena.
aha mpamcho ni nyina aye me boa pacho motimi ka monka emene mi hu se teacher for ya na ye pese hu se
So for me
Amen. Amen.
Yo, okay. Medase. All right. Yo, last week, program discussion said discussing children as the future of the church. Sorry, no, you can't say. Sorry, that you call session enra nyamiado nami wo session. I say more videos no. You who said also for John Paulson, previously or former president. See when you kakra, nanso ahwadi won mu pa. Na asem o kan ye baako and he say adenti and a youth no ya involve youth. Na youth no mo he, enkwala no mo he. Na so for no kasa ya o say if we reject the youth at the end of the day, sorry no ebe gu. Last week me kind near twice waka. Inti media my imagine say onyame fra wa fra me say nkwada ni youth ni one ye betima atwe omo aba nyame fie bia na ho na wo se ye adwuma. If say ye nko ba bia wo mo evangelism no sha say we ha na ye behu sa ye beka ho asem. Inti last week ye kan say Erade say nkwala ne mo kwan mo mra ye nchen. Inti ye nyina ye wa sede I say me yen you mu mfiri yen chen na onyankopon asem eka kire ense nkwada no mu hia moa de mu hia ye na ye mo aduane ne se mo bibia na ma survive say if the children will survive they cannot survive by themselves but they will rely on parents, they rely on adults like you, like me. God has entrusted them to us. And if we talk about the future of the church, it starts from our various homes. And we are supposed to set the example for them. We are supposed to be like children, and the children, we are told, rely on us, just as we rely on God for his love. And we said the church has two responsibilities. The first one is that we have to help them because we have to meet their needs. God cannot help the children. He cannot feed them. God cannot clothe these children without us. So we are the medium. We are going to be the vehicle that God will use in helping the children. And the next thing we mentioned was that it's a very sensitive time. The children at this time we can shape them. Children are like clay now. We can mold them the way we want. So we said that it's a very difficult thing for an adult to enter the kingdom of heaven than for a child. For a child, you tell her, Jesus is here, she understands, he understands. And we go, so you cannot teach old dog new tricks. And so we said that in Psalm 71, David acknowledges that, we are supposed to make our children say this when they get of age. If your child is not able to say, you need to baby, na yentimi who say erade na ama yedru sam pempenso na yenwie sa. Na me yenwie ade e wose ye but ye bom pae say ye ma nyina bedru sa level no beka erade na ye. Nti ye ka say erade as a set yet because erade has been our hope. Erade say ye ma ye one ya omadrum pempenso one ya so for one ya doctor for one ya de so mo ye nyina enam ntete ya de ama won so de mom de eye ehia pa ne se nkoda tima ka se erade na ekura me mfie amadrum pempenso nyina ya fe ye kwaso ye hu se the Lord is asking us to train them. So we have helped them, we have trained them. So we looked at that last week. Said we have a command. That command goes to you, that command goes to me. And it's an instruction. If we don't abide by them, we're going to answer on the day of judgment. And atemu na eba ni Nyankopon be bisa wo, obe bisa me. Say yankwada no, ye kire wo mo ana. Nti ye can say we will review, we will renew our vow at the end. Our vow as parents to take care of kids. Nti ye can say I say ye train wo. So from the training point, we are saying that it's a requirement. Already ankasa form course about school neja ho na no ano. Ye nya kwan no mo nya asore wo fie. Ese ye no mo ya asore. Ehu hia papa. Ye ni nkwada we must bring our children to God's altar every day. We must teach them because there are times nkwada kai wo madwenem. Ye ya asore wo fie na one wo papa no maame mo to nyomo ye niema wo nyina omo kai, and it's sustained. It's a fuel that helps them leap into the future. Now, we said, let's go to church together with them. Don't leave your children at home. Don't leave your youth at home when you are at church. It is out of place. I will say, they see some adults that sing. They see some adults that play the piano. And last week, Mikachidom said, J.K. Mensah, Neba Johnny Mens, or no shaming crime. And then Nemami to be boasting, Michel, I shall say, the enemy whom say, oh, yeah, me sorry, I did be a me person, sorry. Oh, man, for sorry, if you see a sorry, they see things and they do things and they also continue to learn. For man, sorry, baby, they will not know where they belong. They know Sabbath is here. And so I belong here. I said, me sorry. I have nowhere to go. So if you do that, if we teach them, unless we do that, they will grow up into something else. They will do something else. All right. So I said I took this photo, and that's the last thing. I think I didn't talk about this. I said I went to a church where everyone was praying. All I could see was my little girl go to kneel in one of the pews, puts her bag down, and she began to pray. And I was looking at her, saying stuff from her mouth. She did this for about 10 minutes. I said, God, what is this child saying? And I took a photo, and it moved me. Said, because we have to teach them. No child was praying in her mother's womb, but we bring them to this world, and we have to teach them to do this. And so today in our session, what we are doing is that, one, we have learning and training in the church. So how does it go? Let's look at that. So now, today we want to understand that the child's brain is a very big one. Now, we should never underrate children. Mama, won't say, you quite so that you Sabbath street, 2 hours, 3 hours. You call line so you casasa in if you send Qualano or Monty. Now, when you said, you are near man, I used to I am a catcher, master of the Biamo said. Ibu ye chira de na ye chira sakraman kuma ne country vocabulary akesia na yankwada ya wo America na sakraman kuma de omo ye dati ase ye keka nyeman kesia na omo ti ho tide bi obo so na omo wo phone so na nyame asem kura ye ka na omo nti adofo as I said nyame e chire me de ma gime ma phone me ma bia ni ho de phone kwa asore. No way. It was said, let's give them the opportunity to be part of the service, because many times we think they are children. They don't understand anything. Yes, sometimes the language we speak, so they don't. I want to teach you, I see a kakasa almost so that let's not underrate them, because they absorb. I want to be brave. A good dream. I will say a bomb. In summary, the brain is voluminous and unlimited to take. It's like a so big a container that can take everything. Let's involve the children. We are going to understand the fact that children learn by observing. If they are the youth among us in the church, everything we say, they observe it and becomes part of their lives. So we have either we want to poison them or we want to milk them. Listen to this very carefully. We want to poison them or we want to milk them. Yema o nufusu anase epese ye show on kutupa yema wa bro. Inti de ye bia wasafo no mu no wo mo hwe. De ye bia wo fie wo mo hwe. Inti se mo tena fie na mo di nkrofo atem fa asore ho. If you don't say now last a couple of weeks ago I did we were California. Now nkoran bi mami ba ko kan se nkoran no ni makwa asore no mo say o mo jaya asore no. They will not go to the church anymore. Now tell me the reason. The reason is almost to say painful bi e kan sem bi a enko so mo ye niam bi enko so ti o mo de e ji asore no kura o mo jai. Our attitude the ye no eno na she nkola no nkran and I say a butuom. It will poison them or it will milk them. So I see if any news and the youth no and in Quadano womuti they learn also by listening. Nti I also to come now di kongonsa monti or moti. Na yet was ye behunu say a church romo dia ye hunu dia ye kan ye. They would explore enuti ye kwa sorry efie ye bia. O person who no so ye bie. Wouldn't kwala akwa practice down ka obehu me ma na aya me de bo machi na me kira nyuma na me. Ye beba fie na nyuma no tu ni nyina. Niema udi senkosi o this year put the piano there. Akwala bi ba ho obeye so obebo odimbo but opese obo opese ohunu. It is samre ni esi ehunu say. If we don't teach our children now, we would have no future for the church. And I want to keep saying this. If we don't do that, we are doomed as a church. And I have said that last week, California, then I said, Methodist pastor, they gave them a very big church. And there is a wonderful pipe organ. This is a Methodist church. Guess what? The whites who were there in that church are finished. They were left with only 7 old ladies who came to worship every day. Where are the youth? They are all gone. Yeah. Say sorry. The church board. Sorry for the administration of the church. Yeah, budgeter. I was here. Yeah, near my. Yang kwalano yashishe yako yanim yebeka ho asem. Enunti mama nto aso say they would want to one say sorry bo how kwa. The children department has special teachers for them. Ya you on background check. Ya check on 1 year. Enim niema. Enim childhood every say. Kai who say because it's a sensitive period of the child. You want to get someone who is especially someone who has the gift of teaching children. Teacher for Canada, teacher for we have to appoint some of these. Say ebe hwan kwala 1 year ebe buan kwala no. Sanyasa yenime guas. Enti moma yankwe. Enti the year kanina the training session and the learning session it begins at home. So what you say, no child has a language. The child picks up what you say. So if you say F you in the house, what about them? Obefa. Now, ofia or the bar, sorry. The church, the attitude we have, the interactions we have, the chemistry that we share in the church is a result of what we have made in our homes, how we put ourselves together in our homes. Ahona efria eba adofo. Intiminu mienu onyamiasem erika kire enne se. Yenhwe de ye kan yi. De ye die wo fie. Wan se ekofie bi mu a aban agye nkwara na free enane eja ana se ye ne wo mokasa. Womo ye meth, womo ye fentanyl, womo ye cocaine, this anima. ana omo ntimi hwe nkwala omo betena cocaine no so omo omo no maduru na omo ntimi hwe nkwala no na nkwala koma de on sa na akwala no kodem a o se ohun weed wo ho ohun meth no ewo plate mu omo ye nyina omo hwe ti aban se nkwala no bekoso atena fi wo de nkwala no omo ntimi nya cheso omo nya nkwa de pese ye kan e free se de ekoso no nyina no omo esua hwe se the government sees that as a threat to the mental health of the child. Akwada na adwene enko yi ni school kokura enko yi de bo akora obeko school no ile when me nyina no efiri me beza me ka se efiri fie de ye wo fie bia akwada nim do ye ne ye be kire oni ye wamamre. The culture of the home is what we find in church. It will be how ba so de okosa oka bibia on tiase ebi mpo ntimi mfa bone nche hwe wo ye na ese ye kire wo mo enum nyina nti ye sha se wo fie. So the beginning of the building of a church begins at home when it comes to the future in relation to children. Nti meni wumi enu no nyame amaye sa asede ne se ye nkwada no I will say ye kire wo. So guess what? God is love. That no baby knows the love of God. No child knows the love of God. Now, it is God, it is us as parents. We must teach our children that love of God. So God is giving us the responsibility that we will show them the love. One, we need to show forgiveness. I see a na nkola na hunu se rade ye was me battery no mpam cho fancha me de ma de ni hiem se sentisi antimi amfa bone ancha ye nkola no be ye den na mo asua bone fache ye nkola on be den na mo asua bone fache se on be hunu se me so me fie ni aha na me wo mabusua ni ye mani jiwa ha omo be ye den ise ye ne akire wo ma akora no hunu se odo owabusua a wo ye ne be ma nkora na hunu se omo wa asori bia eye abusua to they belong here ye kasa ye kan ofie ye na wo se ye ma ye kasa ye kasade ye kire nkwada so wo bakwa bonten na onim kasa o kasa na ebon wa hunu se eyewo efriwo ewom se nkwada no ko ba bi o musua o mu de ba fia ye ne ye betene won me kai se me nyine papa se wa wo be di atem aboa kwase a wagimi wo ade o de be ye wo nti sabi san kasa ye ntimi ne kan ye dene na se fia ye kasa ansem ye de ba sori so a ye nkwala abeka ese ye kire won na omusua kindness ayemiye ne adoye ni sa nyima nyina so omo di bibi che so omo beboa because say asori bia me koye na yesi omo hehye ne ma na mpanyimfo ye no aduane a enkwala ne bi ti ho ya no aduane awi asori ya pon asori ya didi awi na enkwala ne bi ti omo hwese mpanyimfo no na enkohoro nchansim na omo nkwala de omo ti ho phone so omo dam se wo money hwan Muka mo nkwa kitchen ho na mo nkọ huru ne yemam na mo papa no maame no anu aduane awi omo na msa ba huru chance ni nyina efrifie na obehu nkwala a wo mo no ayatete wo mo yie no obo no ma kọ na omo kosonye mo na omo boa omo yesi we no ye na e wose ye kire wo hwe da bi erade be bisa o ye owofo a me ka kire wo onyame asem na e ba won chen da bi nyame be bisa ne wo kire akoda ni biara si ye jaye ma na omoti ho no omuntimi enya hwe obi ntimi ntete ne ba yie ma abrochire ba abrochire kura na asaye ye die mirika ye kwa adwuma ye kope esika nkwada ye nkyire omo hwe na nkwada TV na ekire wo mo obi aye de ope da bi nyame be bisa yen na no ye ntimu mfiri mu mpie ndi sa program ye enye accident enya akwanhia ene ye nam so de ye yi o erade na ahyehyɛ sɛ yensuame etwi me na wo se me yɛ me ho adwuma me yɛ me ho adwuma wo so yɛ wo ho adwuma ɛse yɛ kyerɛ correction say yɛ boa yɛ ma atenetene na wonim ya metai ka umientio o say onyame bo nipa no wa mo nipa se on say phone ya ye wo no phone a wo kura iPhone, Samsung, OnePlus ni e ka kan your earphone manufacturer and din da so ube hu no say ni logo no iPhone logo na da so ube hu no say iPhone ni ube hu OnePlus hu ni nyina oto a the manual so ahyem or the book ahyem kama o say book no manual no say manual wo dwunu mu the meaning of a manual is a manual is manufacturer and al means to think, and you will find that manual means to think like the manufacturer. So if you take the manual, you will see book a dark phone who say oh phone a bit my way a bosh a woman no we are say oh a phone a tons you mo a best say a yes say a best say a yes say a best say o can now the year juma person obenya nsa nyankopon e boy yen sending seso no amoye say ye nin kugu no see ni book a trosem na wode amayen ye de ye adwuma e be si yen yie e be wie yen yie bi biara be ko yie amaye eno ne yem fa nkire yem ba hallelujah enti hwe asem no aha ye huni say o see kire won no mu hu sane ye kenkan trosem adofo ye na ye kire ye ma no mutimi kenkan kyerosem abri biara ma wo man kenkan kyerosem na me de ade wo de bia me de adanse na ye no kora de be ko hu ye ni me ba krom ha from koda ye sofo chumasi something chumasi na me ko ni fie anopa bia no asori ne ma no ma sorry she said me gidi so no mo kan bible no nyina kosi mpo anso no mo free ho mo kan ni de bia na kan ya no mo kan bible no afi mo ho na kama koma na kola na kan bible no ke eneke osofo tumisi mo mo osofo tumisi ya ne ma no baby o mo asofo lawyer no kura no oye nyame adwuma she said onyame asem ne sisanipa nti ya ne be boa ye ma no mama awi omo aye papa o nyesa nyame be bisai obani mi mpai bo a efiri wo kire se wo mo mpaye nti wo kire oba no mo mpaye fra akoda no bo mpaye obebo adiwochi mo nka chiro no mu asem mu ni ma let them tell the accounts of the Bible yema ewo chirosem no mu nsem abakosem ewo mu mankola ni nsuaka muni se yewo Ghana na ya na yesi ya sorry o 13 sabat bedura na nyina ya chiwi awi Bible na gu yetrim ya me kase ye nyini no niam o de kire samran oh yesi chapter Revelation chapter 22 ni yawi Revelation ni is say ne egumitrim if nye na me be yesofu na misua no bra me yakoda ena me bia me nye bie ma no se me ka de misua nyina da so wo mitrim me kan nyina kitikiti me kai se ye professor ba ko no say assignment ba ko ayaye no wo be chiro ana say wo be ka Psalm 91 nti at the end of the term no ya de ba ko a ohwehwese ye wo be chiro ese no a wo be chiro bi a 3-4 pages na wo chiro ansa na wa ye nsohwe na wantimi anchoro de a ene ese o kan Bible chapter ba ko na chapter o ma Psalm 91 na mesre na mehwa ade na masua Abraham yakoda Psalm 91 he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High say we no ayede ma adwene no bonsam so de onyankopon asem ma adwene na bonsam ni kwan so wuramu no way because the word of God is power. It is an insulator. Me who said I mean no, but I know na boa nipa dwene ni nipa dua no mani wie pay. onyame asem ya mka se onyame asem na wapo ene nyansa ben na wo Awurade se wa wonya wa wo se Awurade ni ho na wapo Awurade asem so wo ye kwasea 1-7 timismen 7 ye nkyere nkwada no na mo nto nnwom a efa Awurade ho ye na wo se ye kyere wo ye wa asade o wo ye owofo nso ye owofo nyame de amaye se ye nye ntitie asem a ye maame Elehamo kan ye wo se ye nkyere nkwada no. Teach them to be kind and patient. Abotre yene wo se kyerɛ nkwada. Yene wo se kyerɛ wo na omunye su papa ni suban pa. Teach them to be thoughtful of others. And thus you are preparing them for higher ministry in religious things. Say yene say ya na ye kyerɛ wo na wetimi aye nyame adwuma. Niema ya kese, niema efa osoro, niema ya honhom niema. Ye ne betimi akyerɛw. Hallelujah. Wahu ntine iti omao. Mode sa great commissioner Awurade ma say, hey, go ye therefore. And I say, I will go, me boy. Go ye therefore and teach all the nations, baptizing them, blah blah. In some ya kan nyina. Jesus say yankwaji wiase nyina. E sha say wo fie ho. Wo nkwada no. Ye wo nkwada no ho adwuma. Wo ma miensa. Ankola ndi omhuma Awurade a asori na nya 3 souls. Wo ba ko a wo ma no ehunu Awurade a wo de okra ba ko abra Awurade. Yenye nkoda ho adwuma. Ye mo won ho mpaye. Ye ntwe wo ma Awurade asenua. Na da bi amre. So wamfa nyame ama wo ba minim awofo na ebo mpaye su. Omuma da jail, omuma ye nro, omuma amfa afekuo pa. Ti aye hawa mo. Oh, onyame ma. Awurade se ye nkyere ye ma no. Ye mfa wo mmre Awurade. Enti hwe ya samba sa onyame asem. Ehu hia o. Na ye beto aso ye beka eno ni ye vow no, and we're going to renew that vow a ye woni nyina no ya no in this Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 6 and 7. Now tie see these words which I command you this day. Ye beka last week ye beka ne the next session should ye besa kan hadi we if he said ehu hia tie see. Now, these words which I command you this day shall be upon your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Nansem amerisha wi ne enna wakoma so. Afa kyerɛ wo mayi na kasa ho Ufie mu ne wo kwan so anantie mu ne wo namu ne wo sori mu nti wo da Awurade se kyerɛ wo ma wo nanti wo na mabonte a wo no wo ma drive ba bia wo fa Awurade se ka na asem kyerɛ wo. This is a great command. Nti minu mienu sha wo hye we are going to renew it. Say Awurade moaye ti yemfa ye mamra family altar. Me the master mini see. It is a questions be wa. One will say fear de bia yentimi anya asori bia ye wo ha. Erare hwe and say e betimi aye. Na wo man kwala ne yesa e bedu ba bi ye mfrɛ wo kra. Wo behu na omo ankasa omo bo mpae. Na bribiara banu ba san be hia abribia ye be bɔ mpae, abribia be ko Awurade anim. Na wonim say ye bɔ mpae no na nkwala no wo etie na de Awurade ye no na wo mu hunu na nkwala no se nyame yi mpae ano a wo be hunu se ekenya wo nti adofo ye de dwumadie esi ha and afi esi ye discussions afi bisa questions ne wo se dwundwene ho nti muma ye hunu se de waka kire ye ne se Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6 and 7. Awufo biya upa choro 2 bedroom. Since I say or Bible, if say Radi or share amount. Oh no, mine and tea no monka, mutika more, morning once. Yanka Radi as one or question, Pacho, utimi ebisa.